Welcome to the WDW Fan Zone Show. I am Stuart Sternberg, and tonight we've got a full house. John Maloney is here, Darlene Aggie is here, Lottie Ferguson here, and Kurt is here. And yes, we do have a show for you tonight. We're talking turkey, Thanksgiving food that you can get at Walt Disney World or not get. So if you wind up where you're going to Walt Disney World Thanksgiving week, Thanksgiving Day, and you want to join in the festivities by having a nice meal there for Thanksgiving, we're going to tell you what you can do, where you can go, and what you can eat. And remember, these are just our opinions. You may not like the food we choose. We may not like the food we choose, but we're going to choose it anyway and give you our opinions on places and restaurants to dine, and for a couple of us, wine and dine while at Walt Disney World. Do you want to get the traditional stuff out of the way first, or you want to go for the non-traditional stuff first, or do you want to go park by park?
How about if we talk, before we talk about the specifics, if we talk about the kinds of things that we look for when we talk about Thanksgiving? So are we talking about the traditional meal? Are we talking about, some place that's comfortable to get together with family? Why don't we talk about the kinds of things that we're even looking for a Thanksgiving meal in Disney World first?
No.
Oh, well,
No, okay. That's fine.
We get together with family? What's he talking about?
We can do that. But what if you're on a solo trip?
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about that too.
We don't want to exclude anybody.
I don't know why you're there on a solo trip.
Now, I know where Lottie will not go when she's if she were ever at Walt Disney World on Thanksgiving, she will not go to. That's right. She will not go to Earl of Sandwich.
But they have a turkey sandwich.
Yes, they do. They have a special turkey sandwich, as a matter of fact.
And a holiday ham sandwich right now. And if you join their little club there, you can get it for $9.99.
Yep. It comes with a drink and chips.
Yes, until the 24th of the month.
Does Napoli have pizza with turkey on top?
I don't think so.
Maybe cranberries.
Maybe cranberries.
Possibly ham.
Yeah.
Yes, ham,
right.
pineapple, Hawaiian turkey.
All right. So we're not just doing the parks. We're going to do the resorts too, Disney Springs, whatever. So John, you wanted to you were thinking if we're there with an entire group.
Well, but so even when we talk about having Thanksgiving dinner, what does that mean? Does that mean we're looking for traditional, Americana turkey and all the trimmings, or is that what we're talking about? Getting a group together to have that kind of dinner?
Well, I thought we would do that and let people know what else they can have. It doesn't have to be the traditional Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So, but that's helpful to understand.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start off with the traditional places we would go. I mean, I could think of one right off the bat, but I'm going to let you guys. I know one of you guys are going to mention it, so I'll. As a matter of fact, let's ask John first.
Well,
because I can see he's looking at his other monitor there.
I don't have it up there, but So when I thought about Thanksgiving, you certainly think about turkey dinner. And if I was down, I've never been there for Thanksgiving. If I were there for Thanksgiving, I would be looking for places where you could have turkey, and, for me personally, I'd be looking for something that felt kind of homey and, maybe has a little bit of Americana. So the place that I'm going to throw in, I'll leave some of the softballs up to Kurt or to Lottie or to Darlene or Stuart, but the place that the place that I'm going to start with is Garden Grill at Epcot.
Wow, I did not.
That was on my list.
And I have a couple of reasons for that, because it is very, home. Their normal meals are very home style food.
Yes,
and when you're rotating around in the dining room, you go past that farmhouse and you get to look down and you get to hear the chicken. So it's got that Americana feel. It's got that kind of hometown feel, as well as having all the fixings, more food than you can eat, just like any Thanksgiving dinner. It's got dessert that comes along with it, and they do some special things for Thanksgiving. I mean, I was amazed at how many restaurants have the special menus for Thanksgiving all around property.
Mhm.
But so I think Garden Grill would be one of the first places I would consider if I was down there with my family looking for something for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's a good choice. It's not, it's that was unexpected. I thought that would come up later on in the show, but that's a good choice. Very
That's
good.
what I had on my Epcot list. That was like
Yeah.
number one on my Epcot list.
Yeah. Darlene.
Well, I've eaten at this restaurant now, and I'm very happy I did because the food was delicious. It's Liberty Tree Tavern
Yeah,
in
that's the
Magic
one I thought
Kingdom.
you would mention, John.
I left it for Darlene.
um, the food was delicious. It was plentiful. Um, you know, I love the cranberry sauce, the turkey, the gravy, the mashed potatoes, the stuffing. Those are all the traditional things that I like to see on my Thanksgiving dinner when I'm at home.
Mhm.
Along with the rolls, the hot buttered rolls and stuff. Everything is just so good and fresh. They even had they had sweet potatoes too that day that we were there at the one. Because if you Diamond Horseshoe shares the same menu, I found out, and it was just absolutely divine. I would definitely go again.
Same. I think they share. Now I'm not positive of this. I think they may share the same kitchen. As
Yeah,
well.
mute her because she just took that second one then too. She took 2 for 1.
That's all right. There were so many. There were so many places.
Ah.
All right, Kurt.
All right, I'm going back over to Epcot, and before someone else grabs it, I'm grabbing Regal Eagle. It's
Uh,
smoked meat and a craft beer. What more do you need? You're set. So choose your meat of choice. Grab a couple. I'm sure they got a couple different platters for you. Go enjoy it.
All right. Very good, Kurt. It's a good choice. Lottie.
My mom's side of the family is originally from Louisiana, so Thanksgiving looks like lots and lots of soul food. So boat rights over at Port Orleans Riverside is probably one of the more underrated restaurants on property. But the shrimp and grits, the ribs, jambalaya, macaroni and cheese are all things that would be on the dinner table Thanksgiving for us. So that's where I'd head.
Oh, good choice. Another good choice. Often not overlooked, but when it comes to Thanksgiving, I don't think people think of this as much. But in the Magic Kingdom, right on Main Street, the Plaza Restaurant,
Mhm.
that says Americana right there, and it's got Walt's Americana written all over it too. That would be my choice. Now, before we go further, everybody's got, Lottie, you just brought up something that we should have all thought of before you even start, or I should have thought of before we started the show. We have different traditions for Thanksgiving.
mhm.
So, why doesn't everybody tell us what their family traditions are for Thanksgiving before we get back into picking more restaurants for our listeners and viewers? John.
Well, my traditions have changed over the years. The food hasn't changed, but the traditions have. So for our family, Thanksgiving is getting together with family, and in different forms, it's having turkey and vegetables and stuffing and gravy and some kind of pie, whether it's apple or pumpkin or whatever. But it used to be we would get together at somebody's home, one of the members of our family, of our extended family, and we'd have a lot of family members come from out of town or from nearby and come together. In the last few years, it's been more we find some place to eat, and we don't go through the trouble of having somebody have to do all that work. So in fact, this year we're doing takeout. Well, not takeout, but pickup. So you can order
Boston Market, I assume.
Publix.
I'm kidding.
A nearby restaurant that provides some of the same kind of food choices, but you pay per person. You come pick it up, and then you go to somebody's house. You go to one of the family members' houses, and then heat some of the stuff up, and still get to have it together as as a family, have a nice hearty meal. But we just didn't have to have any one of us go to the trouble of putting a turkey in and making all the fixings to go along with it.
Nice. Very nice. Darlene.
Well, my tradition has always been to celebrate with family. A lot of times, my husband, with the job he had, he was not able to do it right on Thanksgiving. So I was lucky enough to celebrate and have a few Thanksgivings. It made it much easier, but we always did have a nice sized turkey, stuffing, not in the bird, mashed potatoes, gravy, sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole. I made a broccoli casserole too. Um, Pumpkin pie, apple pie, cranberries. We had to have homemade cranberries made out of the bag and gelled cranberry out of the can. um, but we always tried to do some sort of family get together. And now that I've been down in Florida the past few years, I've had dinner with Stuart, and I have had dinner here with my Florida daughter, Michaela, and her now fiance, and with our friends, the Oliveris. So,
Alicia, if you're listening, don't you think she mentions her Florida daughter a little bit more often than she mentions you? Not that I'm trying to cause any trouble there.
well, my daughter Alicia lives up in our old area of West Seneca, New York. So, when I do get up there for the holidays, I'll be having dinner with her as well, probably. So, but that's our tradition. You always have a lot of a lot of desserts and stuff. I was asked to make cutout cookies this year, so I'm gonna try to make turkey cutouts.
Very good. All right, Kurt.
Okay, first off, for those of you in Florida, Publix makes a mean Thanksgiving meal. Just saying,
Oh,
it's really
haven't
good.
tried
We
that.
we had that a couple times when I'd go down to Florida to spend time with my mom when she was not in assisted living, back when she was at her house. So good stuff. Everyone else just builds their own though. So most of the time though, for about the last 28 years, I've been going to my sister-in-law's house up in Michigan. Now I'm going to stop over at Lottie's mom's house, it sounds like, to get some of that Cajun food, minus the seafood. I can't
We
get
all
the
are.
seafood in there. But any other jambalaya, I'm in. Sausage jambalaya, I'm there. But yeah, we're doing, you got the turkey, you got to have the green bean casserole, you got to have the sweet potatoes with the regular baked potatoes smashed into mashed potatoes. That's traditional. Got to do it that way. Got to have the
That's
butter.
different. Yes.
Got to have the gravy. Got to have the you got to have the buns, the little buns. That's mandatory as well. I don't like pumpkin pie. I don't like the aftertaste that sits there for the next 6 years. But I'll go for the apple pie. And since there's so many of us there, there's over a dozen of us there, so we all spread it out, and I get to sit there and watch the Lions lose on Thanksgiving Day.
No, they're gonna win.
They're not all going to get these softballs like, tossing the Bears at them or something. Come on now. So good stuff. Good family, good friends. Take a good nap.
Mm-hmm.
Lottie, I know you mentioned a few things before. Anything else you want to mention about what your family does?
So
What were your traditions?
we potluck every year, and we rotate, so it's not at the same person's house every year. And everyone is usually assigned the same dish. So you know what you're supposed to bring. I'm always in charge of the jambalaya and the sweet potato pies. My mom does and the ham. I usually bring the ham. And then my mom does the turkey, and she'll do cornbread stuffing and collard greens. And my sister does the macaroni and cheese and the fried chicken. And my uncle, he always brings the fried fish. Our family owned restaurants when I was growing up, and so there's always just a ridiculous amount of food, peach cobbler and German chocolate cake and lemon pound cake, and
Okay.
it's just
Hold
I
on.
will send pictures.
When are we having Thanksgiving dinner? Because
Yeah, we're all
I
going to
was
Michigan.
I
I
know.
just need the address. I'll be there Friday night for leftovers.
I
Listen,
am sold on that German chocolate cake, the collard greens I've never tried, but I'm in your jambalaya, I would love to try.
it's Thanksgiving is a big deal for our family. We don't all get together for Christmas, but we usually do get together for Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty big deal.
That's great.
Yeah, God, for me, growing up, I remember it was either my mom or my aunt that would have Thanksgiving dinner. My aunt, it was funny. My cousins didn't like turkey, so she would tell them it was chicken to get them to eat the turkey. But anyway, but it was always like the very traditional Thanksgiving meal with the turkey and cranberry sauce and stuffing. When I got older and started celebrating with my family, with Michelle and our kids, it somewhere along the line we did Thanksgiving every year, and I think it was because I didn't want to travel anymore. So I didn't want to deal with the traffic, living in the New York, New Jersey area. So we had everybody come to us, and it was turkey, cranberry, mashed potatoes. Not the instant mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes. It's the only way to go.
Mhm.
And Michelle makes a mean brisket. When she buys the brisket, it's like 3 feet long, but after she cooks it up, it's like a half a foot because all the fat burns off of it and it just shrinks it down. But it's a mean brisket, and we have it every year. And it was always family. It was always, my brother and his kids, her sister and her kids, and spouses. But since we moved here to Florida, it's been, the first year was with Darlene and Keith, and my kids have come here for it. And then last year, it was a neighbor who had no other family down here at the time, and that person's coming back again this year, and another couple of neighbors whose family's up north. So it's my family, and we've extended it to our neighbors too, so they can be part of our family. They are part of our family, but they can be part of our family for that day too, because it's what it's all about. It's about giving thanks and sharing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, back to the parks, or not the parks, to the Walt Disney World Resort, parks and hotels, resorts, whatever. All right,
Is
John.
that me?
Yeah,
Is
we're
that
all
me?
there. Yep.
Well, so you had just mentioned the Plaza Restaurant, and Darlene had mentioned Liberty Tree Tavern. So one of the different kinds of choices that kind of fit in with that, to me, is the Diamond Horseshoe
Mhm.
restaurant that's next to Liberty Tree.
Yep.
And it's not always open, but
Mhm.
at Thanksgiving, the park's going to be busy. And they've got some of the
Right.
same
Mm-hmm.
kind of food there. And it still has that, the old hometown Americana feel.
Yep.
Although it's kind of, there in Liberty Square and into Frontierland. So it's,
Mhm.
it's a, I've had other lunches and dinners there when it has been open, and it's all you care to enjoy. It's tons of food, and it's a nice environment too.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. All right, Darlene.
So another place that I thought of you can always go to that has delicious food is Crystal Palace.
Yes.
So that's another one in Magic Kingdom that has a big array of different choices and stuff. It's a buffet. The ambiance and the character meal make it a lot of fun, especially for children. We've done that one too, and that's a good meal.
Mhm. Yep. Kurt.
I'm going over to the Whispering Canyon Cafe.
Good
Good
choice.
choice there too.
Menu for Thanksgiving Day. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't tell the menu. You know it's going to be good. It's skillet.
Yeah, the
It's a bottomless
food is
skillet.
always good there.
So you name it, it's going to be there. If it's a traditional, it's in the Whispering Canyon
Mhm.
Cafe.
Yep.
And I'm going to ask for ketchup just for the hell of it.
All right, Lottie.
Chef Art Smith's Homecoming at
Ooh.
Oh, another good one.
Disney Springs. The fried chicken and the biscuits, right there. That says that's Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
That's comfort food at its best, right there.
No, that's true.
And the moonshine. Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go back to Magic Kingdom. And there are people that may be on a budget of sorts. So Columbia Harbor House. It may not be your
Mhm.
traditional Thanksgiving meal,
Mhm.
but there's always good eats there, and it's Americana, and it's to me it says Thanksgiving on a budget. So I'm going to go to Columbia Harbor House.
Uh,
And if somebody wants to mention the turkey leg, we will accept it.
I was going to
That's on the
say,
list.
just grab a turkey leg and saunter
Turkey
on
leg.
up to a garbage can and
Yep.
sit there and pick the leg apart while you're watching the afternoon parade.
Yeah, John, I know we have some restrictions on other shows with certain topics. On this one, there are no. The only restriction is there are no restrictions.
unless I say sci-fi dining.
No,
Mm.
you could say it. I won't agree with you, but you could say it.
Because nothing says Thanksgiving like watching 50s style sci-fi videos.
Yeah, in a cramped car.
Instead of a cramped car, yes.
Yeah. All right, John.
I've got another different kind of approach, and it's still with the traditional turkey Thanksgiving dinner. And that would be, and this is on the same wavelength, Stuart, as your budget conscious choice, but they serve Thanksgiving dinner at a number of the food courts or the counter service
Mhm.
around the resorts.
Yep.
And it's got roast turkey dinner, cornbread stuffing, mashed potatoes and gravy, vegetables, cranberry relish, and you can get it at some of the all-star resorts, at the Caribbean Beach, Art of Animation. And if I was down there staying for DVC points at one of my home resorts, I could do so at the Polynesian and go to Captain Cook's and get it. So you don't have to go very far, save probably some money versus paying for a sit down in one of the expensive restaurants in the parks, or at some of the other nicer restaurants around the resort. But do it right within my home resort, sit down, counter service, not even have to wait so long to get served.
Yeah, good choice, Darlene.
Um, John kind of took what I was going with. I remember doing the menu, I think it was on our news show for the holiday season. And yes, those are a great place. But I was going to go over to Chef Mickey's. Chef
Mm,
Mickey's has a
very good
very
choice.
big buffet, and we've had that before, and that's very good.
Mhm. Yep. It
A lot of different
absolutely is.
choices, especially for your finicky kids that don't like turkey. They can get their chicken nuggets.
Or a box of cereal.
Yeah, or a box of cereal.
Bye-bye.
All right, Kurt.
I'm going to walk right down the middle of Main Street, USA, and take a left and go into Casey's Corner. Do you know they're offering an all beef hot dog with cranberry mustard, savory stuffing funnel cake, and cheese curds? I'm there. Cheese curds. If they probably import them from Michigan or Wisconsin.
I have to check that out tomorrow when I go.
That sounds terrible.
You know what, Darlene? Yeah,
Combination.
Darlene, have somebody buy it for you. Don't spend your own money on that. You can get a taste first before you buy it. Oh. That's really on the menu?
Are there
I'm
pictures?
looking at it right now. That's what
How much do they charge you for that piece of crap?
$14.29.
Is
for
that
the
all
foot-long
on
holiday
it, or
dog.
is it a side?
It says all beef hot dog, all beef foot-long hot dog with cranberry mustard, savory stuffing, funnel cake. It's got to be on the side, and cheese curds on the side.
Now,
Or you can
I'm very
just get a
happy-
regular hot dog for $12.99. Get the foot long. You can just brush everything else off.
Now, I'm
and be
very
good to
happy
go.
to hear it's an all beef hot dog. But
Yes.
for Thanksgiving, why didn't they have a turkey hot dog?
I wonder. That's why I was looking it up.
It's just the combination or the concoction,
I
however
know.
you want to put it,
This
sounds
looks
like
good.
it spells CRAP. Now, it may be the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't know. I've never had it. It's just the combination, just like I wouldn't get it just reading the combination of what they're putting together in this thing.
No.
No.
I
It's
got a
got
stomach
cheese
ache.
curds.
I got a stomach ache
on.
looking at this.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the cheese curds than the French fries. French fries get
You know,
cold too quick.
Some years ago, it was very popular in New Jersey. I don't know about any other part of the country, where these hot dog places were popping up with these like chocolate on the hot dog and other strange concoctions. And they didn't last very long. And there's a reason they didn't last very long. I think this is going to go by the wayside. Whoever came up with that idea, I hope it's delicious and I hope people buy it,
Not.
but I don't know about it.
Oh,
All right.
show's over. Appetite ruined.
Now that Kurt's ruined your appetite, Lottie.
Oh. Yeah, I was gonna do the macaroni and cheese food trucks over at Disney Springs,
Yeah.
and then go over to House of Blues for bread pudding for dessert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. And I'm going to take you guys over to Trails End.
Is it
Another
open
good
yet?
one.
I don't care. I'm going there anyway.
Oh.
He's breaking in.
Is it open? I thought it was open. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. I'm going to take a quick look.
Yeah, the last I had checked, it wasn't open, but I haven't looked recently. Certainly, I'd like the idea if it is open.
7:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Oh, all right.
Now, when it reopened, I don't know. I don't think it was that long ago, but I'm not sure.
I'll have to look for my next trip to see if I can get it.
And that is buffet style. So if you can, and there are big tables there. So if you have a large family, you can have a big table. If you're a small group, you can have a small table. And as much as you can eat. Fried chicken is great there. What else is the roast beef? They have turkey too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember ever getting the turkey there, but I think they have it there. And all sorts of potatoes. Love different kinds of potatoes, among other things. All right, John.
I'm going to go somewhere that still has it's amazing that you can get the traditional turkey dinner almost everywhere over property. But I'm going to go somewhere that has its own additional serving of family. And that's the 50s Primetime Cafe.
Oh, I just was about to say that one.
So you can
Yep.
get the relatives to, tell you not to put your elbows on the table and eat all your food and, get that added interaction to make it feel more like home, more like, extended family. Sorry, Kurt.
Darlene.
Mute him.
So me, one of the things I like to do is try different desserts. So I know during the holidays, and I know a lot of people aren't a fan of Starbucks, but they do switch out for the they have the carrot cake cookie. They also have a red velvet cookie that's really good. And I like to get that during the holiday
Oh,
season, especially, you know, along with a good, creme brulee latte or something.
All right. Kurt, please no hot dogs.
No, I'm the budget traveler. I'm not going to all these sit down restaurants. Let's head over to Restaurantosaurus.
Mm.
Believe it or not, on Thanksgiving only, they have an open faced brontosaurus. No, it's an open faced turkey sandwich, cornbread dressing, smoked turkey, herb gravy, cranberry sauce served on top of a grilled multi-grain bread with roasted garlic mayonnaise. I could eat that.
All right, Lonnie.
So I've never been there for Thanksgiving, but I had a fantastic time breakfast there in June. So I gotta think that Steakhouse 71 is gonna have a killer Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, bring your platinum credit cards. You'll need them.
You know, it wasn't as expensive as
For Steakhouse 71?
before.
That's
Steakhouse.
Wasn't too bad.
Oh no, I'm thinking of STK. I apologize. Yeah, Darlene you're right. And you knew that I made that mistake.
I did.
I'm glad you caught it.
No,
I did not do that on purpose.
I would not ever. I would not ever recommend STK. It's way too expensive, and it's not. It isn't Disney for me.
No, it's not.
Mhm.
It's not. It's a chain that shouldn't even be there. But yeah, okay. I guess a good choice. Good choice. Let's see. Where am I going now? We still with the traditional or semi-traditional?
Do what you do what you got to
right.
do.
I'm going to go to Animal Kingdom, and Kurt, you took a place that I would have gone, maybe, perhaps, on Thanksgiving, but instead, I'm going to go over to Satouli's because I want something that is incredibly different for Thanksgiving and delicious at that. So I'm going to pretend I'm in Pandora, and it's the closest thing I can find for Thanksgiving food back home, and I'm going to have the noodles.
Did you see that they're doing a Thanksgiving bowl?
They are.
No.
They have a turkey bowl.
Wow,
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
that's great.
It's got grilled beef and turkey with gravy stuffing, red and sweet potato hash topped with crunchy vegetable slaw, and the boba pearls. It's got to be good. It's got the boba
Yeah.
pearls.
Wow, that sounds actually pretty good.
It does. Let's hope that becomes a regular on their menu. I doubt it, but it'd be nice if it did.
Well, at least during the holidays, like keep it through
Yeah.
Christmas or
Yep.
something. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
They have a dual bowl with the grilled beef and turkey, and they have just a separate wood grilled turkey breast
Okay.
with
I
gravy
would
stuffing.
probably do that. I'm not a fan of mixing my two like that. So I would go
Oh,
with
bring it! Bring the beef. Bring the meat.
Yeah.
the only way I do that is when I go over to Stuart and Michelle's and have the brisket that his wife makes.
Yeah. So the funny thing about the brisket, when we bought the brisket, I'm going like, I think we should get a bigger one. And she's like, no, this is big enough. And trust me, it's big. So my son sees it because we had put it in the freezer. And my son sees it in the freezer and he goes, you got to talk her into getting a second one. This isn't going to be big enough for everybody. Because everybody will go for that first before the turkey. So we'll see. And I just said to Brett and to my daughter that if we run out, she'll be here for the whole week. We'll run over and we'll get another brisket and make it just for them before they.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where are we?
Was that just you?
Yeah.
Okay.
John, you're
Yes,
up.
that's me.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose my next option from Epcot, and it's actually a kiosk for Festival of the Holidays, and it's the American Holiday Table. And they have slow roasted turkey with Ben's original stuffing, mashed potatoes, green beans, and cranberry sauce. and you could get it there at the kiosk. It's available. A lot of the meals for Thanksgiving are only available on Thanksgiving or for that weekend, but the American holiday table is open from November 25th through December 30th, so you can get it through the entire period. You could even get it for Christmas, but I pick it up at the kiosk and then walk into the Regal Eagle and sit down and be part of America and have an Americana type holiday dinner.
Very good. All right, Darlene.
So the next place I would go would be I'm tied between two different places. So I'm going to go with the first place that I like is, of course, I showed you the coupon before, is the Earl of Sandwich.
Mm.
The holiday turkey sandwich is one of my favorites. It it has just the right amount of gravy, stuffing, turkey on that nice bun that's nice and soft, and yeah, it's very filling and it's very delicious and it's very nicely priced.
All right, very good. Kurt.
You know, I've always wanted to eat here. And over at Old Key West, you got Olivia's. They got a nice roasted turkey breast with garlic, mashed potatoes, green beans, cornbread stuffing, cranberries. Basically, everything that you want. I know it's going to be good. Olivia's is always good. Everything I've ever read about it and seen about it.
Yeah, yep.
All right, yeah. I've never been there either.
Oh, I have.
One of these years.
Your wife's been there.
Yeah, good for her.
Wait
Doesn't do me
for
any
that.
good, but good for her. All right, Lottie.
Polite Pig.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Yeah, we usually someone will barbecue for Thanksgiving. Actually Christmas too. We'll just shovel a path through the snow to the grill. But yeah, Polite Pig and the sides are quite reminiscent of Thanksgiving.
I agree.
Well, I'm going to go over to a place I've never been, but always wanted to eat at. Excuse me. The Cape May Cafe for dinner.
Oh.
I am
Mhm.
sure they'll have a special Thanksgiving menu.
Is the seafood buffet back there?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard really great things about that place. So one of these days. All right, John. I think this will be. You guys have a lot more. We can make this the last round.
I'm happy to make. I could go on for a long time, but I don't. There's no way I could ever eat at all of these places. But
I know, right?
I'll tell you what. We'll do one last round, and then we'll just shoot out some other restaurants that we think might be a good place to go Thanksgiving, whether they're traditional or not.
yeah. And again, I was amazed at how ubiquitous Disney has the traditional turkey dinners across property. They certainly give you the opportunity to have Thanksgiving dinner, but I'm going to choose a place. So Thanksgiving dinner is all about overeating. So why not go someplace that you already overeat? Because it's a buffet and it's Tusker House at Animal Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
I love Tusker House buffet as it
Good
is,
choice.
but to have it there for Thanksgiving, in a different environment, I think I'd give that a try. I don't know. I'm assuming they would have the characters there too, but I'm not sure for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they just recently made some changes there to the menu.
Okay.
I don't remember what they were, but I remember reading something about that not too long ago. All right, Darlene.
So my last place that I love to eat is at Yak and Yeti in Animal Kingdom. And like Stuart said, you know, Asian food, you can't go wrong, and they've got a lot of good food there. I love the pork egg rolls and stuff. And if you're not a turkey fan, check it out. You know, they even have a nice takeout window too. But I would definitely go there too to eat.
Okay, Kurt.
I'm gonna go. I've again never been to this place. I've stayed at the resort so many times. Head over to the Chico's.
Mm.
Oh,
They got a Thanksgiving
Mhm.
feast with turkey breast Ballantine stuffed with braised leg, whatever
Mm.
that is, Dora Watt, butternut nappy, and other delicious offerings. I don't know what they are. I have no idea.
yeah.
Either
But
that or
it
you
looks
can go to
good.
Boma. They got carved turkey, Dora Watt, cranberry chutney, candy fufu. What the heck is fufu?
Foo-foo.
It doesn't matter. It's better than that crap hot dog you mentioned before.
It's I don't know. It's probably the same stuff as on the hot dog for all I know.
I've been to Boma, and their food is definitely good, and it's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
It's another buffet, and it's a lot of food.
Yeah.
I already gained 5 pounds just listening to the show.
All right, Lottie.
Yeah, Kurt stole my last one.
I'll go with you. Come on.
I had Jico and Boma on my list just because Boma's breakfast is amazing, and the slow roasted, the
Mhm.
rotisserie, the ham, and the mustard the house mustard is just amazing. So, since I can't do that, let's see. Boathouse
Oh,
Mhm.
at
mhm.
Disney Springs. We didn't mention that
Mhm.
one.
No,
And
we did not.
that's another good spot for comfort food. But I'm willing to bet that if you want Thanksgiving dinner at the Boathouse, you're gonna have to get a reservation
Oh,
Yeah,
this
I'm
time.
sure of that.
This time of the year for next year.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, it's
You
the
gotta
same
get
thing
in.
probably with homecoming too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think so.
Mhm.
Um, where am I going? Oh yeah, I'm going to do something that's not traditional, but the style of food that reminds me of not Thanksgiving meals, but other types of meals that I've had with my family, from the Wiener Schnitzel to um, the beef, and it's just I love the place, and that's Beer Garden.
Uh,
It's also all you can eat, which doesn't hurt. So I love all you can eat.
Mhm.
And yeah, it kind of reminds me of like when my grandparents were around, that kind of food, because it was back then we had different kinds of, not for Thanksgiving, but for other family gatherings. So being we're talking about family, I just thought I'd throw that in there. So if you're looking for something not traditional, but you want a lot to eat, that's a good restaurant to go.
Mhm.
And I was going to mention another restaurant that's not too far from there in Epcot, but I go there so often it's not that special anymore because it's like my go-to place if I'm not going to Regal Eagle.
what place is that?
Via Napoli.
Oh well, of course. That's so you can get the turkey on top with the
Mhm.
cranberries. Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say the restaurant in Japan.
No, I was going to say
Oh,
No, I like the restaurant in Japan. I was going to say Nine Dragons.
9 Dragons. Yeah, in China.
I thought that was the restaurant in Japan. Oh no, that's the
That's
restaurant in
China.
No,
China.
that's China.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Nine Dragons has to. I still maintain after all these years, Nine Dragons has to go. I do want a Chinese restaurant there, but let's give us something new.
Mm.
Something new with a new menu. Yeah. All right. So, John, you said you had a whole bunch. Why don't you just give us a few?
Well,
of them?
yeah. So I'm going to change gears and talk about something else to get. Well, the other kinds of things to get at Thanksgiving are desserts. So
Mhm.
Disney has so many special holiday desserts, but I'm going to give one, and that is at Beaches and Cream. They've got a milkshake with a piece of pumpkin pie on top of it.
Yep.
And I will bet you Beaches and Cream will have a Thanksgiving dinner on the menu.
Well, they have a open face Thanksgiving sandwich.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
right, but the pumpkin pie shake with a whole piece of pie on the top of them.
Could you
Mhm.
imagine? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I'm not a fan of pumpkin pie, but that sounds good for those who like that.
Yeah, I'm
kind
not a fan of pumpkin pie either, but I think I'd eat this.
It's better than that cheese curd hot dog.
Hey, I had to toss it out there because it's available, and there's going to be that the one person that does listen to the show is going to go, I wonder if we should try that just to see how bad it really is.
Sven from Switzerland. Well,
Right.
let me see what the hot dog tastes like here.
Try the dog at Casey's.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No, 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 no. No.
I'm trying to think other places that you go. Oh, Chicken Guy. If
Oh,
that's
yeah.
another good. If you don't want to spend a lot of time in a place, you want to grab bite something good. It's not turkey, but it's damn good chicken.
Mhm.
Good chicken.
And that's in Disney Springs. I'm trying to think where else. Connections Cafe has a
Oh, yeah,
great.
Connections.
That's good to go any time of year, not
Mhm.
necessarily for Thanksgiving, but the food there is absolute. That Regal Eagle had become my favorite counter service in Epcot until Connections opened up.
Yeah.
Connections kicks
Mhm.
rear end on them.
Mhm.
Every park has a counter service restaurant that I think just stands out above the others in that park. And we probably have different opinions depending on which park. But for me, in Disney's Hollywood Studios, it's Backlot Express. But you can make an argument for a couple of others. And I mentioned Stooly's before in Animal Kingdom, and there again, you can make an argument for
Another one
others.
too, yeah.
Magic Kingdom, I think Magic Kingdom is probably the most difficult park to pick a counter service restaurant that is strides above the others because they've got a lot of great ones there. That's not to say the other parks don't; they do.
Yeah, you have personal favorites, certainly.
Yes, absolutely. And everybody's got personal tastes. Like Kurt likes cheese curd hot dogs.
The cheese curds are on the side. You are not from anywhere in the Midwest, are you?
I've never even seen a cheese
I've
curd.
never
Oh
been
my
to the
God.
actual happen to
A
the Midwest.
cheese curd is they're using cheese curds instead of French fries. You can get the cheese curds.
Yeah.
Lottie, we
I
gotta
like
teach
cheese
these people.
curds. I like cheese curds, but not on a hot dog.
It's not on the hot dog. It's the side to the hot dog.
Not with the hot
Darlene's
dog,
holding her
on
dog,
the
her
hot
dog
dog, not
Cogsworth.
next to it.
He would. Darlene's holding her dog Cogsworth. He wouldn't even eat that.
Oh, I guarantee you, Cogsworth, this would be a delicatessen for him. He'd love it. The delicacy.
Why would you want to curdle milk? I don't get it.
Colonel, it wasn't. It's
I thought you tried to avoid that.
Oh, a cheese curds. I get it. I get
it's
it.
a cheese curd.
It's not.
If I want cheese curds, I'll leave my milk out for a few days.
No, that's. Oh,
Have you never gone to Culver's and had the cheese
I
curds,
was going to
Stuart?
say they've
No.
never been to Culver's.
never.
Yeah.
Who's
No,
never heard of
no.
him?
I've been to Culver's many times. Cheese curds, no.
Yeah, they're good. You have to give it a try.
Nope. Their thick shakes or their shakes at Culver's is one of the best you can get around here.
Yeah.
The food
They have
is
a root beer shake that's
food's
incredible.
okay, but their milkshakes,
The girls love
worth the
Culver's.
trip.
Yeah, get the root beer shake. It's good.
Now, Darlene, if you were to recommend a couple of places, because I know what one of them is going to be off property
Off property?
off property to go to
Okay.
for Thanksgiving. Name a couple. I know one you're going to pick. It's in Celebration.
Well, yeah. Celebration Town Tavern is good all year long. They have a big array of a menu. They have seafood and stuff, so that's a good place to go. In that area, there is also Al Capone's is in there. They've got a good menu. If you're staying like near 192,
Ford's Garage in
Ford's
Margaritaville.
Garage. Yeah,
Mhm.
Ford's Garage. They've got a Texas Roadhouse over there too. I've been to. That's very
Mhm.
good.
There's also a rib place in Margaritaville that's really good. It's
Which
not
one?
turkey. It's not turkey, but there's a rib place in
Oh, yes, we
Margaritaville.
ate
Yeah.
there. Yes, that
Yeah.
was really good. Um, Also, they have the hot pot places around there that are good too. Um, so I mean, if you're staying in that area, that's a good place. Kitty O'Shea's isn't far from there either. It's a Buffalo owned bar. That's in Disney Spring also.
And if you're near International Drive, if you're staying near there, there's a ton of chain restaurants over there.
Mhm.
Just be careful what you pick.
Right.
Yeah.
There's the food
Isn't there-
trucks too, down 192.
Food
the
trucks.
Food trucks. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I have
That
never been
food-
there.
Wow. It's such an incredible choice from different countries, a lot of Latin American countries, and a lot of other types of food that you can go crazy there. Worse than Disney. You can come out of there even more broke than going to Disney because you're just going to want to eat something from everywhere. And the food's really good from the food truck.
Mhm.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us. John, did you have any more you wanted to mention?
There's just too many, but they have a lot of similar things. But I would definitely be looking for some of the other desserts. One other dessert I would throw in is the all-encompassing cheesecake at Ale and Compass. It's got so many layers of goodness to it.
Mhm.
But I'd be eating in one place and going to find the dessert somewhere else.
How about the Thanksgiving Dole Whip?
Is there a Thanksgiving Dole Whip?
Yes, it's made with stuffing and cranberries, topped off
No.
with chocolate and vanilla ice cream and some pineapple. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea.
No,
I
but
have no
Lottie,
clue.
Lottie, they do have a special at the Pineapple Lanai with the lime Dole Whip now. And I thought of you when I mentioned it the other day, didn't I, Stuart?
Oh, I went to 3 different places looking for that lime Dole Whip while I was there, and they said, "Well, it'll be here on the 6th."
Well, if you ever go to New Jersey, I don't know if they still have it, but before we moved, right before COVID, they had just started to sell Dole Whips, and they had all different flavors of Dole Whips, and that is Hoffman's ice cream. You cannot find better ice cream on the Jersey Shore than Hoffman's ice cream.
Yeah, they've got a place near Flint that sells Dole Whips too, but they're seasonal, so they're only open during the summer, and they never have lime. They only have pineapple and raspberry.
All right. Well, what we've learned from this show today is there are a lot of places on Disney to get on and off property to get Thanksgiving meals or good food if you're going to be here Thanksgiving week. We also learned that all beef hot dog isn't worth it for 14 whatever it is because it comes with cheese curds. And the desserts are pretty darn good too. So no
And there's a
matter what you
lot of
choose-
desserts.
Yeah, there is. So
And
no
they're going to
matter
be
what you
switching
choose-
over too
Switching over to
the Christmas ones. Remember, I
Yeah.
told you that on the
Yep.
show the other night.
yes,
We'll be switching over
very
around
soon, like
the
2 weeks.
26th or something. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear about the Christmas hot dog.
It's gonna have mistletoe on it.
I was thinking marshmallows or something like that.
Peppermint
Gingerbread.
marshmallows or
Ooh,
something.
God.
Gingerbread
S'mores hot dog.
man.
Anyway, there is something else I do have to mention to you guys before we do get out of here. Now's the time you want to start planning your 2023 trips. So whether it's Walt Disney World, Disneyland, if you want to take a Disney cruise, if you want to do an adventure by Disney, no matter what your budget, no matter where you want to go, no matter when you want to go or how, Mouse Fan Travel, the number numero uno travel planner in all the world. Not the world, the globe, the universe. They don't do just Disney, they do it all. So get to a Mouse Fan Travel Planner, tell them what you want to do, how you want to do it, and when, and they will help you out. If you don't have, if you've got questions for them, they have the answers. And if for some reason you stump them, highly unlikely, they will get you the answer. But not only will they get you the answer, they get you the right answer. And best of all, they've got the most experienced, friendliest, most knowledgeable travel planners you'll find anywhere. Forget the rest. Go with the best. Mousefan Travel, www.mousefantravel.com. That's www.mousefantravel.com. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy the holiday. Be safe. Bye-bye. Oh, we're not going to do a show next week, so don't look for it. We're off.
Good night, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
See you real soon.
Well, I have to turn Thanksgiving inside out and say, hey, it's okay, you're welcome, and thank you. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe. My friends up in New York, don't go out in the snow and be very careful.